They say it a lot every year, really, that the MCU is back. This time the MCU really is back. I'm recording like this because I don't have my AirPods right now, so I want to be as close to the mic as possible. It's going to be a weird looking video, but I can't wait to get my AirPods back because I have so much to say about this movie. I'm just zoning out for a second, thinking about all the things I said. I had to type my Letterboxd review for the first time ever on my laptop because I had so much to say about it. Let me just say that the MCU has lately been skipping a lot of origin stories because they're finally getting to characters that we've seen before. So the way that they went about it in this movie was perfect, because you look at something like Spider-Man, Tom Holland, and they completely skipped over his origin, didn't say a word about it, and then Aunt May kind of takes the place of Uncle Ben, and we never know what even happened to Uncle Ben. Sorry for the shakiness. I'm holding my phone, but I'm trying not to block the mic, and I'm trying not to look like a slob. So bear with me here. And yes, I'm leaving this in because I'm too hyped to edit this video very much. Anyway, let me sit in front of the Funkos. Fantastic Four there. That's probably better. Anyway, this movie, it takes place in the 60s, and after the most important beginning scene, which you'll see, they decide to go with a 60s montage television special, and it recaps very quickly but very effectively the origin story of the Fantastic Four with clips of the cast, and it condenses it into 3 minutes, and you have a recap, almost like when you're watching a new season of a show and you've got a recap from the past few seasons. Or similar to the Raimi Spider-Mans, when you have that montage in the beginning to refresh your memory. You see this origin of the Fantastic Four that everybody knows because it's one of the most popular origin stories. And you get that little montage to kind of fill in the blanks for this universe without spending too much time on it. I watched Fan 4 Stick for the first time last night.
Say that again?
I watched Fan 4 Stick for the first time last.
Say that again?
And the origin story took about 70% of the movie. So when you condense it into 3 minutes and you have an hour and 45 minutes to really play with these characters and do stuff while they have their powers, 4 years time, which has been a trend lately, kind of starting with the PS4 Spider-Man, where you get into these characters like a few years later. So they're 4 years into being the Fantastic Four. They've developed their dynamic. I mean, they already all know each other. We don't really get a gauge on the ages of these versions of the family. You get the dynamic. You get the classic Thing and Johnny dynamic. There's a good chemistry between Reed and Sue. And here, for the first time ever, she's pregnant with Franklin, the most powerful being in the Marvel Universe. So you know that this is going to lead to something really important. So that already raises the stakes of this movie. You feel the importance because they want you to know how important Reed is going to be one day. Whether that's in Avengers or whether that's way farther down the line, who knows? Having that kind of lingering throughout the whole story is really important, and it makes this Fantastic Four story different from the others, but also important. I rely heavily on nostalgia. I do argue that I don't think nostalgia makes something better, but it definitely holds it in your heart more. I think 2005 Fantastic Four is a great movie. It was a great modern adaptation to the 2000s superhero genre, and I give that a 9 out of 10. I love that movie. Yes, maybe a little bit of nostalgia plays in that, but I think the origin was perfect. I think the modern take on the characters was perfect. And if you're looking at that in that way, then First Steps is the perfect adaptation for a classics, cartoon, early comic era Fantastic Four. I mean, just look at the suits you've been seeing in the advertising. It is amazing. The color is perfect. The white boots, the white collar, everything is just perfect, other than Thing having a shirt. But at least he's not naked.
Say that again?
I was not a big fan of Joseph Quinn's casting, but now down the line, after I've watched the movie, I want to sincerely apologize because he was one of the best MCU castings I may have ever seen, at least since the early phases. He captured the quippiness, but also the serious and leadership role that we haven't really seen before. He's almost one of the sole reasons that the movie keeps moving, and he actually saves them a couple times. Saves them from Galactus, who is now entering, in my head, top 10, maybe top 5 MCU villains ever. MCU specifically. His story is simple and effective, just like the montage at the beginning. He looks perfect. The way they defeat him is perfect. Shala Bal is really good too. People were probably questioning why they chose her. When you really look at the story, she was so good. She really captures that kind of dynamic of Silver Surfer where she's doing what her boss tells her to, but also she's a human. She has human feelings. She has remorse for finding these planets for Galactus to eat. But then that also makes Galactus a good villain, kind of like Thanos, where he's doing something for himself to survive, but he's not trying to kill anybody. He doesn't really feel remorse, so he's still evil, but he's just trying to survive, and he's a predator, and he's going for his prey. So it creates a really good dynamic, and that's always been how Galactus is. I talked about Joseph Quinn, Pedro Pascal, and Vanessa Kirby. I think they get a little, maybe they're a little more serious, so they need a little more time for me to get used to them. But by the end, that's Reed Richards and Sue Storm. Sue Storm has the most badass scene in the whole movie, and you'll see it. This is a spoiler-ish review, but I'm not going to spoil exact details. You'll know it when you see it. Probably the best scene in the whole movie. Showcases her power and how powerful she really is. It's never been really shown in the movies before. The Thing is perfect. He has a couple little scenes where you really see the humanity. He's the one thing where I don't know if it's quite as good as 2005, because you just feel so terrible for the 2005 Thing. But when you see this new version of the Thing, he's ripped right off a comic. It's like Alex Ross drew the scenes with him in it. It is amazing, especially early on. You'll see, like, when you first see the Thing, it's reminding me of the Incredible Hulk. The dynamic between the family and just some of these shots, like Johnny and Surfer, you'll know, are some of the best shots in the entire MCU. The dynamic of the family, and by the end of it, you just know the castings were perfect. Again, I'm not going to compare it to 2005, and I know I'm my own enemy continuing to mention that, but they're two different casts that were perfect. I'm going to ignore Fan 4 Stick, but this was just amazing. It's one of my top 10 MCU projects right off the bat. I just got out of the theater an hour ago, and this is how I'm feeling. Maybe it's excitement, maybe it's comparing to the other movies, I don't know, but I loved it. It's getting a 10 out of 10 for me. It was amazing. I feel like there's a lot more I have to say. I'm kind of recording this in one take because I want to just get this video out there right at release. So there's not going to be much edits to this. My Letterboxd is linked in the description if you want to read my full thoughts, which I wrote on my laptop over like 15 minutes as if it was a school project. But whatever you're doing this weekend, cancel it and see this movie, because not only is the MCU back, the Fantastic Four was treated with the care that they've deserved for a long time, and it was amazing. So I'm gonna be kicking myself because once this video's done, there's probably a lot more I wanted to say, but I got most of my thoughts out on Letterboxd. So make sure you go read that. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you watch my shorts. I'll be posting a little short of the Fantastic Four review as well, and go see Fantastic Four. Mind you, I'm wearing this orange because I've got the Thing outfit. I should have worn blue, but this is my Thing outfit. Go see this movie. I'm not looking in the camera.
Say that again?